Gentleman from Ohio is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I yield myself such time as I may consume. Thousands of Americans stranded in Afghanistan, fearing for their lives, and Democrats are focused on passing legislation to make sure states can't require photo ID to vote. Thousands of Americans stranded in Afghanistan while hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants cross our southern border every single month. March was the largest month on record for illegal crossings until April. April was the largest month of illegal crossings until May. May was the largest month until June. And June was the largest month until July. And Democrats are focused on passing legislation which says states who want to go back to the election law they had just a year ago before the virus, you can't do that. You can't do that unless you come get permission from the Department of Justice. As Mr. Davis said, in 1965, Congress passed the Voting Rights Act, a good piece of legislation that did things that needed to be done, put in place things that needed to be put in place. But we're a long way from that and so much better. In 2013, in the Shelby County versus Holder Supreme Court decision, the court said there is no need to continue pre-clearance requirement. Here's a quote from the Chief Justice. The conditions that originally justified these measures no longer characterize voting in the covered jurisdictions. Justice Roberts stated, African-American turnout today exceeds white voter turnout in 5 of the 6 originally covered states. During the past election, voter turnout was higher across all racial groups as compared to prior presidential elections. The United States of America is the greatest country in the history of the world. There's no question that our country has done more to advance the cause of liberty and democracy than any other nation. But unfortunately, it seems the Democrats don't want to acknowledge all that amazing progress that's been made and where we're at today. H.R. 4 would subject state and localities to the whims of partisan bureaucrats within President Biden's Department of Justice. They get to decide, not states, as our Constitution says. No, no, no. You got to go get permission from the big federal government. Do what they say when it comes to your election laws, even if, as I said before, you just want to go back to where you were a year before COVID. Republican states that Democrats always want to target actually do better than Democrat states like President Biden's home state of Delaware. But for some reason, you don't hear Democrats raising alarms about Delaware, and you don't see the Biden administration bringing lawsuits against Delaware. Democrats want to focus on this manufactured crisis because they have no plans to deal with the real crises that are facing our country. Inflation, crime, the border, and, of course, what's going on in Afghanistan as we speak. Don't be fooled. Today it is easier to vote than ever in our country. We need to applaud the strides this nation has taken. We need to embrace the greatness of this country. This bill is not about expanding voting rights. It's about Democrats consolidating their political power. And that's why they're focused on this at a time when there's so many critical issues and crises facing our nation. They're focused on consolidating their power. And I think taking it away from the states, Madam Speaker, I reserve the balance of our time.
The gentleman reserves. The chair recognizes the gentleman from